The cold gray waters of the Pacific Northwest hold many secrets. Powerful currents churn above deep, unexplored canyons. Here, a legend lives, Cadborosaurus or Caddy. Described as a long-necked serpentine creature with a horse-like head, Caddy has been whispered about for generations. Credible witnesses, fishermen and sea captains, have reported seeing something unexplainable. They mention a long neck, unusual head, and humps breaking the surface. Imagine standing on the misty shore as a dark shape disturbs the water. Even today, the ocean keeps its secrets. The legend of Caddy invites us to wonder and keep searching. The Pacific Northwest keeps its greatest secret just beneath the waves.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
The legend of Cadborosaurus is deeply rooted in the Pacific Northwest's rugged coastline. A maze of islands, inlets, and deep fjords, the Salish Sea, with its rich marine biodiversity, is the perfect setting for a mystery. Orcas, humpbacks, sea lions, and countless fish thrive here, making it easy for the unknown to hide. The name Cadborosaurus was coined in 1933 by Archie Wills, combining Cadboro Bay and the Greek word for lizard. This gave a formal identity to a creature seen for years, transforming scattered tales into a focused legend. The region's geography, deep channels, cold waters, and countless hiding spots, offers ideal cover for a large, elusive animal. Caddy could easily move between open ocean and sheltered sea, following food sources and currents. The environment isn't just a backdrop, it's an active participant in the legend. This connection to place makes Caddy's story unique, a specific mystery tied to a specific location. For locals, the sea is livelihood, recreation, and identity. The possibility of sharing these waters with something unknown adds awe and respect for the ocean's power. The legend reinforces that the natural world is still full of surprises. The waters beyond our homes are wilder than we imagine. Long before European settlers, the indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest told stories of a sea serpent-like animal called tsakwalala. Their oral histories describe a long-bodied, horse-headed creature, remarkably similar to modern Caddy sightings. These aren't just folklore, they're treated as historical records and spiritual truths. The creature appears in native art and is sometimes called the sea wolf or sea hyena. Stories often carry warnings, describing Tsakwalala as a powerful, sometimes dangerous hunter. The consistency between ancient traditions and modern sightings is compelling, suggesting encounters with the same type of animal for centuries. For First Nations, Tsakwalala is part of the natural and spiritual world, its existence accepted, not questioned. The stories teach respect for the ocean and its powerful inhabitants. Humans are not the only masters of these waters. The creature represents a force of nature to be acknowledged. This perspective shifts the mystery from scientific proof to a deep historical connection. The legend's roots give it a weight that many cryptid stories lack. It's a continuation of an ancient story, not a modern invention. Modern sightings echo the words of ancestors, creating a continuity across cultures and time. That's what makes the search for Caddy so fascinating. The modern chapter of Cadborosaurus began in the 1930s when sightings started making headlines. In 1932, Major W.H. Langley, a respected barrister, and his wife saw a large, serpentine creature with a camel-like head while sailing. Its body had several humps rising and falling in the water. Langley's credibility gave the story weight, encouraging others to share their own encounters. In 1933, Captain F.C.D. Willey and his crew reported a similar creature off Discovery Island, pale brown, long, with a serrated back, estimated at 80 feet. These early, well-documented sightings by respected community members moved the story from folklore to news. Archie Wills, editor of the Victoria Daily Times, began collecting and publishing reports, coining the name Cadborosaurus. Wills's efforts created a public record that researchers still study today. The 1930s became the decade of Caddy, with credible witnesses and media attention fueling public fascination. Cadborosaurus was no longer just a rumor, it was a bona fide mystery. The accounts from Langley and Willey established the classic description repeated for decades. Their stories laid the foundation for all future investigations. The legend grew, and the search for answers intensified. Caddy became the Pacific Northwest's most enduring sea serpent. The mystery was now a puzzle begging to be solved, and so the legend entered the modern age. In 1937, the search for Cadborosaurus took a dramatic turn. A physical body was found. Whalers in Haida, discovered a strange, partially digested creature in a sperm whale's stomach. The carcass was long, serpentine, with a horse-like head, small flippers, and a finned tail, about 10 feet long. Photographs were taken and tissue samples sent to the Provincial Museum in Victoria. The museum's director identified it as a fetal baleen whale, but many disagreed, arguing the shape didn't match. The carcass mysteriously disappeared before independent study. The debate over the Naden Harbor carcass continues. Skeptics cite digestion distortion, while believers see a juvenile caddy. The lost carcass remains the most tantalizing and frustrating piece of evidence in caddy's history. For some, it was the proof they'd waited for. For others, just another mystery. The photographs still fuel debate today. Was it a misidentified whale or something truly unknown? The truth remains elusive. The legend only grew stronger. In the late 20th century, Cadborosaurus research entered the scientific arena. Dr. Paul LeBlanc and Dr. Edward Bousfield led the charge, collecting and analyzing hundreds of sighting reports. They published Cadborosaurus Survivor from the Deep in 1995, arguing that the volume and consistency of sightings suggested a real, unknown animal. They proposed the scientific name Cadborosaurus wilsey, honoring Archie Wills. Their work was met with excitement and skepticism. Mainstream biologists demanded physical evidence. Skeptics suggested misidentifications, sea lions, oarfish, or floating debris. Despite this, LeBlanc and Bousfield's rigorous approach gave the legend scientific credibility. They organized data, filtered unreliable reports, and presented a coherent hypothesis. Their efforts ensured caddy wouldn't be dismissed as mere folklore. They framed it as a legitimate scientific puzzle, deserving further investigation. The search for answers became more methodical and more intriguing. Why does the legend of Cadborosaurus endure? The ocean remains one of Earth's last great mysteries. We've mapped the moon more accurately than the ocean floor. Anything seems possible in the deep. The idea of ancient creatures surviving, hidden in the depths, sparks our imagination. Consistent sightings over a century, long neck, horse-like head, undulating movement, make it hard to dismiss as mere fantasy. The Naden Harbor carcass and blurry videos like the man-warring film and Kelly Nash video keep the debate alive. Each piece of evidence, though inconclusive, fuels hope for discovery. The search for caddy is part of our desire to believe in the extraordinary. In a world that feels explained, cryptids like caddy connect us to mystery. They remind us not all questions have answers. The hunt for caddy is a quest for wonder. It keeps us looking to the water, hoping for the impossible. The story of Cadborosaurus isn't just history. Sightings continue into the 21st century. Modern technology means more videos and photos, though most are quickly debunked. Some, like Kelly Nash's 2009 Alaska video, remain intriguing, showing serpentine shapes undulating beneath the surface. Experts are divided. Some see sturgeon or known fish, others see consistency with caddy's description. New reports and blurry footage reignite public interest, prompting news, online discussions, and amateur investigations. The search is now a community effort. Cryptozoologists, locals, and scientists all contribute. Online forums and social media are today's gathering places for sharing stories and evidence. Every sighting keeps the legend alive. The pressure to find answers grows. Will it be a new species or a solved mystery? The search is far from over. The Pacific Northwest still watches the waves. Caddy's secret endures. Today, the mystery of Cadborosaurus is as captivating as ever. It stands apart for its deep roots, consistent sightings, and serious scientific attention. Caddy is more than a monster. It's a zoological puzzle. The debate is sharply divided. Skeptics argue that, in an age of cameras and sonar, a large animal couldn't remain hidden. They point to misidentifications, sea lions, sturgeon, even swimming giraffes. For them, the lack of a body is the final word. Believers counter that the ocean is vast and full of surprises. New species are still being discovered. They argue that caddy's unique features don't match any known animal, and eyewitnesses shouldn't be dismissed. For them, it's not if caddy exists, but when we'll find proof. Cadborosaurus represents the enduring power of the unknown, a symbol of wildness just beyond our shores. Whether prehistoric reptile, unknown mammal, or powerful myth, its story enriches our world. It encourages us to question, to wonder, and to keep searching. Until a body is found, the legend of Caddy will haunt the Pacific Northwest, a magnificent unsolved mystery for generations to come.